And we're back. We are back. Hey, if you stuck around, thank you. If you've had a chance to donate, thank you. We are raising money here today for Extra Life. There is a link in chat that you can donate to Extra Life. We are doing our best to... We're saving children, and we're... Oh, and Lich just raided us.
Hey, Lich.
Thank you so much. We are playing...
More people.
We are playing Hunter the Reckoning, and we have just finished our break, and let's get right back into it. So, when you call in the VIN number, Kathy says, Sheriff, you're going to have to give me some time to get that. You know that, right?
That's all right.
Okay.
As I see that tooth from Mike, I take that tooth from Mike, my hand just starts shaking and it starts to hit home a little bit. And I go, Mike, give me one of them cigarettes.
I take out my Zippo. Still not working.
I just have it hanging out of my mouth. I can't light it, but I still got it.
Gus stands up and says, Reverend, come with me. And I'm on the carpet on the way out. Don't step on that. And he steps over that.
Everything is booby trapped.
He takes you to that. He takes you to that rusted pickup. He drops.
Okay.
He drops the tailgate. There's a dead deer in the back.
Oh, I'm gonna look at this. I'm looking this thing over.
It is not a stag.
Okay.
Okay. It has exactly what that park ranger said. A massive claw-like wound across the throat. And Gus pulls out a hunting knife and sort of cuts the leg for you. And you would anticipate that, like, you know, it's a relatively fresh kill. It looks, you would expect some blood to come out. Nothing comes out.
Nothing.
He's like, I found this last night out behind.
Behind
I get back
your
on the
cabin.
radio.
You can all see the deer in the back of the pickup. He goes, I'm not going to let that go to waste.
I haven't revealed myself yet.
No, he has not seen you.
I get back on the radio. I go, Kathy, where the hell is Fred? Is he almost here?
Fred comes across because he's monitoring channel. He's like, I just pulled up at the end of the trail, sir. Sheriff.
Yeah, I'm on my way down, Fred. I head down to the trail. I see Fred there. I said, Fred, get on the radio. Get Douglas out here. This is a goddamn crime scene. I need this whole place taped off and quarantined. And I need you to get Gus the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And give me my rifle.
Sure. He opens the trunk. Your rifle's lying in there.
If there's any other firearms in the car, I'm gonna take them.
There's a shotgun.
Yeah, I'll take the other shotgun.
Okay.
When the sheriff gets back, I'm just gonna start like reviewing all the information that Gus has given us very loudly.
Okay.
So that Mike can hear it as well. And just say, so we got, okay, so you found this deer behind, and there's some creature that's been eating them, and like go through the teeth.
I'm just gonna say that Gus is taken away by the deputy. They're gonna take him away. And anyways, yeah. So feel free to talk.
Yeah. So Gus, not only did he find this deer behind, he says this creature that looks like a woman, that's very fast, has been eating deer, but he also found, when he got back to his home 6 weeks ago, a whole bunch of freaking teeth, and I like show the bag on the floor of his cabin, and he said that car's not his. He doesn't know who it belongs to.
Mike, as you see that bag open, like you can almost hear the teeth clatter off of each other, and just all kinds of memories flood back.
Mm-hmm. So I just start casing the woods to think. I'm trying to think like the Tooth Fairy. Where would I be analogous to where I discovered them last time? What conditions where I found the boy are similar to what's happening now?
It's remote. they're you're pretty sure he's spending time with them. Like it isn't a one.
And did I overhear there's Jeffrey and Michael's the farms? Did I overhear this?
Yeah, there's a hunting lodge to both the east and the west of your location.
How far?
Couple
Can
miles.
I see them from here? Oh,
No,
okay.
No, you couldn't possibly see them. No.
Is there anything? Is there a root cellar? Is there a compost? Is there an outhouse?
There is an outhouse. The others there are not. This is a hunting cabin put on a couple cinders, right?
What time of year did the murders back in 74 happen?
They were over the course of an entire year, and it
A whole year.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it would have been almost like sort of November, December when Mike had his encounter with the Tooth Fairy and almost saved Jamie.
And you said, what time of year is it now? I'm sorry, I forgot.
October.
October, okay.
Mike, do you remember anything of this creature that you saw before? That was the Tooth Fairy creature. Do you remember, like, because he's telling me he's seeing a female kind of woman that comes out at night and eats deer and moves fast. I know there are creatures like that, but I don't know if that's what this Tooth Fairy is. I'm not sure if they're the same.
One could
Are
use
you
the
asking
other
me?
to cover tracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
because
if
you don't see.
remember-
I haven't revealed myself, unfortunately. You're standing
Well,
there
'cause
with Gus.
No, Gus has left.
He got taken away.
So
Oh.
let's just recap here. Gus has left with the deputies.
Oh, got it.
And the sheriff has called for the other deputy to come out and essentially tape off the area as a sign.
Thank you. Okay, so we start. Is there? Okay, so this car was there. How soon ago?
Well, he says he got back
Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
The car was already here.
Yeah.
So nobody's moved the car since then. But 6 weeks ago, somebody broke a tooth off, or a broken tooth got wedged in this car.
Yeah, and the bag has enough teeth for one person, basically. It was.
Is there a basement or cellar to this house?
No. There is a crawl space underneath because it's up on some cinder blocks.
Well, let's look in the crawl space.
And Ryan, which boy was it, or which two boys would it have been that was more than 4 weeks ago? Because I know you said there was one that was at
There's
4
only
weeks.
one. There's only one.
Okay, so who's the one that's older than that? That's more than that.
The first one.
As I'm walking back up,
Is that Glenn?
I got
Glenn
another
Rogers.
Glenn.
Glenn. Okay.
Yeah,
Strung over my shoulder.
Suddenly there's more guns. The sheriff has brought more guns. So Glenn Rogers went missing 7 weeks ago. He's 17, and he was the kid that was charged for peeping Tom and exposing himself.
Okay.
And he was supposed to go to juvie, like the day after he went missing. And most people in town believe that, he just skipped town to not.
Do we have a sin eater scenario here?
What?
I get what you're saying, because if he was keeping Tom, and we all know how football players can be, and I don't remember what the other ones were.
What do I look at the sheriff and I say, what do we know about Dustin?
Well, I know he's dating my daughter.
And he was a football player, right?
No.
No.
So what do we
That
know
was
about
Aaron.
him? Did he have any deviancy? Did he have any? Did he have a record? Did he?
Trust me, Mike. I looked into it before I found that he was dating my daughter.
What do we know?
Clean record. Seems court. Every time I met him, nice boy. Unless I missed something, Jeremy. As far as I know.
No.
Pretty good kid. Yeah.
I will say this. You have not been the most attentive father. You've been thinking about the loss of your wife. It was coming up on her anniversary of her death. There's a lot of things been going on in your life, and you're maybe doubting yourself a little bit, but you can't remember anything that presented itself in that way.
I don't remember seeing any red flags. I would have put a stop to him dating my daughter if I did.
With the case 10 years ago, were the kids in that case like deviants or have records or bad kids.
Assuming that Mike shares, there are 13 kids in total that went missing. I have a long list of names here, but really their names aren't really that important in that regard. I can tell you that some of them were not perfect. But not all.
Probably find with many teenagers.
Like there was no sort of socio-economical connection to be made. Kids of all races and sort of middle class, lower class.
So the only thing that they had in common was that they were close in age.
Yes.
Okay. I want to look at the crawl space.
Okay. So you get down under the crawl space and start looking around. Your investigation is high enough that I'm not going to ask you to roll.
Okay.
You find a pillowcase. It has 2 eye holes. And there is what appears to be a blood stain where the mouth would be.
Like it was put over that and then...
Maybe.
Or a person.
Is there a hole where the mouth would be too?
No.
So whoever was wearing this probably had their teeth pulled out in the same way that the kid that I found with his whole bloody mouth with all his teeth missing. This might have been put over that kid's head. That's all I find under the house?
Yes, and it's not buried or anything. It's like it was just thrown under there.
How long, has it accumulated? Has it been there a while? What's the color of the blood?
The blood is brown and dried.
Okay.
And it's wet from being outside this time of year,
sure.
Right? And
yeah.
There's lots of leaves and other sort of just forest detritus that's been like blown under the cabin.
Okay. But it was put here.
Well,
like it was disposed of.
Leaves over it and that, but it was disposed of there, or it got there.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like blown under there. Somebody shoved it here. What do we trust Gus? Gus said he found the place like this. Is there any other, as a PI, as I case the house, am I finding anything else?
When you haven't gone inside yet, so when
I'm crawling out from under the crawl space and I go in the house.
When you go inside, you're looking, and then you look up. And the rafters are exposed.
Yeah.
And there's a pair of very long belts wrapped around the rafter and dangling down. And you immediately think back to Jamie with his hand
the kid
bound above his head.
Right. So this is where whatever killings, a ritual or whatever occurred. As to anything being here now, we don't see anything. So this is just confirming our suspicions, but it's not leading us to a solution.
The blood on the floor is dried and stained the wood.
Because it was bled out.
That checks out with Gus's story. That if something happened here, it happened prior to Gus's arrival, when Gus came back about 6 weeks ago. And the teeth, I'll just keep feeding because we're of course on a time limit here. The teeth match up in that when you add the tooth from the car to the teeth in the bag, you have a full set.
It's a set.
Basically from about here around to the front.
So if something smashed its face, it did it.
And it echoes everything about your wound.
Right.
Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we got Glenn Rogers here.
Ed, could you have maybe your deputies or something check the neighboring hunting lodges and see if either one of those is empty?
I got 2 deputies, and they're gonna have to deal with this. I think we might have to take care of that.
We should check and see if the neighboring hunting lodges are empty, because if it was trying to move to a place nearby, where I could continue to do this sort
Well,
of
he
thing.
found the deer last night, so obviously it's at
Right.
least in the
Somewhere
area
around
within the
here.
last 24 hours.
I can be honest with you. I could call in a few more guys, but I don't know if I'd.
I
That's
mean,
never
we
a
could
terrible
try to
idea.
If they're equipped to deal with this, I
we
don't
could
know.
stay here till the nighttime and try
We
to
could
bait
certainly
something.
use the bodies, right?
I'll call in any guys that I.
Yeah, you probably have auxiliary police force, right? So if you want to bring it in, and what do you have in the auxiliary police? What are you focusing their efforts on?
I need this scene needs to be contained right away. And
I'm gonna go. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead.
I'm gonna go to the roof.
Okay.
And from the roof, I'm gonna look at the tree line to see if I see smoke coming from any other direction.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and you don't see anything like that.
Okay.
Before the steam gets like locked down, can I don't know if maybe this is like because of my blood magic and all that sort of stuff, like am I able to, because there is blood present, even if it's old, am I able to like make a look around the cabin and look for anything that looks out of place?
For anything that might lead us in a direction.
Yeah.
Are you
that.
focusing on the blood?
Yep, because that's kind of where my
Mojo comes from.
yeah.
I would like you to make us sense the unnatural then. Wits and occult, and we have 2 desperation dice. In
Use
the
'em.
desperation pool.
Do it.
Well, she's doing that. I'd like to.
And
grab
I
my-
will invoke your specialty as well. So your blood magic gives you an additional +1 dice. So we're doing intelligence plus blood magic. That's an 8 dice pool, and then you can use up to another 2 dice from desperation if you want.
Use them because you could crit a couple times.
Hey,
Sorry,
Darren,
I
I'm gonna grab Mike while she's doing that.
Yep.
And I'm gonna see if he can help me take a look for any kind of tracks or anything leading out of here before the place gets trampled to hell by deputies.
Okay.
Maybe anything from the car, any direction from the car.
Okay, so I rolled
Prints, anything?
What'd you roll?
4 10s, a 9,
4
a
tens?
6. A 9, a 7, a 6. So
Yeah. So
Like a double crit.
2 10s gives you a crit of an extra 2 successes. 4
yep,
10s.
and I got 4 of them.
4 10s, that actually steps up to, I think, 5 bonus successes. So
You start to levitate.
So the hood, the pillowcase.
Yeah. Yep.
That blood is not human blood.
Okay. Am I able to sort of figure out anything about it? I'll look at Mike, and probably at this point, given that my eyes are probably bleeding at this point.
Oh yeah. Actually, like, sure, like a tear, blood tear coming down.
Yeah.
And your
for
head,
sure.
your head starts to, a few places start to crack open, and they don't run. It's just like a little blood blot right there as your stigmata kicks in, and as you focus down on this, it's not vampire blood, it's not werewolf blood. You have never sensed anything like this before, and it is potent.
Okay.
Now that you have the scent of it, can you track it?
You couldn't track
Probably.
it unless there was a blood trail, of course. If there was a blood
Yeah.
trail, you could. But if you sense this particular blood again, you'll know it.
I'll know it. Okay. Yeah. It. If I sense this again, I'll know it. But whatever this is powerful. I've come across other things, and I've never seen this.
So, using my normal person skills over here, do I see anything around the station wagon, tracks, trails?
No, you
Okay.
don't. Nothing in that regard. Listen, Jesse has now like identified that you are not dealing with some low-level, sort of vampire or werewolf, and we are going to bump our pool to 3, our desperation pool. You are not fighting something that's going to.
It's the car.
If it matters, the desperation dice that I rolled was above a 6.
Yeah, no.
It
The
was-
only
it
thing
was
we
a
have to worry
7.
about on desperation dice is if they come up.
As if it's a 1.
Okay, if it's a 1. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, they were nothing. I never didn't have any 1s, so.
What do you want me to do?
The car's been wiped clean. We found the tooth in the car. We found the pillowcase under the thing. There's a blood stain. There's belts. The thing strung it up from the rafters, so it's probably taller than. I mean, the fact that it could get the kid up into the rafters and tie them up is obviously, we're dealing with something of an innumerable strength. I start trying to tick through my journal, and I'm looking to see if I randomly wrote anything down in my 10 years of dogged pursuit of answers. What is there anything that I can find?
Let's make an intelligence occult check.
Seeing as he's like randomly, like as he's excited, well, he's not excitedly, but like seeing him flip through his like journal and stuff like that, like Jessie would probably be doing the same.
Okay.
And trying her best, like,
okay,
compare.
So intelligence, occult. I'm gonna use desperation dice because I'm freaking out now. Okay. How many do I have? Can I pull from?
You have a possible pool of 3.
Should I use them, guys?
do it. I say do it. It's a one shot.
Oh, I need. Oh,
go
and
big or go
all
home.
3 would be desperation dice, right?
Yes, I assume so.
I'm asking.
Come on.
The desperation dice? Yeah, you can do all 3.
All 3 would be like special different dice.
That's right.
Go big or go home. It's a one shot.
I'm saying. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got a crit. One of them is on a part of the desperation dice, so a 0 desperation dice. So I got 1 crit and 1, 2, 3 successes and 5 successes, but it's a crit.
Okay. So as you're going through your notes, you land on a case in Florida, and it says, your note scribbling says, "Not all monsters look like monsters." And you remember that you were talking to a cell of hunters in Florida, and they tracked down what they thought was some sort of werewolf, some sort of shape changer. And it was just a man. But no matter what they did, he seemed to be able to, thwart off their attacks. And they talked about putting him down, and he got back up. They tried to find his origin, but all they could come back to was sort of like this idea that some men and women, of course, are just born evil. They're not possessed. They're not like a shape changer, a monster, a vampire that was once man turned monster. They have bad, for lack of a better word, sort of like bad juju. And that this individual had used sort of voodoo-like rituals. Strong on the voodoo-like. To push his strength, his power even higher.
So as I'm doing this, and all the wheels in my head are like clicking, and it's like things are locking into place. That the Tooth Fairy was using these kids to try and become something else.
Maybe
is what I'm taking from this. Is that the change that it was. It's trying to transform, and it's using the kids sacrificially or in some sort of ritual. And I pitched this to the Padre. Is there anything that you've heard of in your order that would match this description that could give us any insight?
Yeah, I'll try to. I mean, see.
Can you phone a friend?
And would it be like? Well, yeah. I mean,
you do have a mentor. You have a mentor.
I
right?
do. Are there cell phones? Probably not.
There's not. But if you got back to the station, you could make the call.
Okay.
I have people I can call too at the university.
As he's rattling off all these ideas as he's reading through his book, I'm assuming it's kind of frantic and whatnot. And I pick up on the not all. I think basically the only thing I understand of all of that is that not all monsters look like monsters or whatever. And immediately, as soon as I hear that, I just go, "Hey, Fred, you there?"
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. You got eyes on Gus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost back to the station.
I think.
Would you mind to just put him in the cell for the day, would you?
You can hear from the back seat. Why the fuck do I have to go in a cell? And he's like, yeah, I'll get on that,
just
Sheriff.
For his own safety.
If we can head back, I can try to call a mentor or something, to see if they know, because this is very
you feel
obscure.
like you've got all the information from this cabin you're going to get.
Yeah.
You want to head back to the station?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah.
Or do we want to check these? I mean, I guess I'm the sheriff. I should probably call. But do you think we should check these other cabins, or do you want to just head back and see if we can find some more resources?
I think we head back.
Yeah.
To where Glenn is.
Okay, and you had called for the auxiliaries to come in. What are you having them focus on?
I want to just make sure that the site is locked down.
Okay.
And I'll have them inspect the other cabins.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. So you
Save us some time.
You get back. When you arrive, Kathy has called in some catering, and
Bless you.
Kathy, what a gem.
And yeah, so you make your phone call. So let's start with the Reverend Hildegard.
Okay.
So you call your mentor.
Yeah.
Who kind of got you out of the grips of the vampire that held you previously.
Father Evanston.
Father Evanston. Now you and the father are not the same religious alignment. Like he's Catholic. You're probably not Catholic if you're a woman and a reverend.
Yeah, so, I googled the first denominations to ordain a woman.
Okay. But
probably Presbyterian.
Under the long night, you all work together.
Yep.
So he picks up the phone and he's like, "How's it going?"
It's not. I mean, we're getting a lot of information, but I can't tell which of it is related directly to these kids that are missing. And we're trying to parse it out. You know, there was some blood there that wasn't human, and you know, this investigator had some information, and I just kind of like relay all of what we know and see if something shakes out.
You lay that all out, and he says, There are unique creatures, and you may be dealing with one. Have you investigated the bank? The letter is very peculiar to me. The fact that the kindred would reach out and say that they weren't responsible. Clearly they feared that we would learn of this and approach and investigate. Someone at that bank connected to the kindred are afraid.
So the bank is here, right? The
Yeah,
bank is here in this town.
The letter that you received came on letterhead from the Central Bank of Ridgeway, and it is the only bank in town. He says, I would lean on that, and you can certainly check in with the Reverend Flanagan there in town. He is not aware of our order, but would definitely know the population and would know it differently than your sheriff.
Sure. Okay. This is all on speakerphone, probably. I don't know.
Okay.
So that everyone can.
Yep. I assume we're back in the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Kathy's like walking around. Sandwich, coffee.
Thank you, Kathy.
How about Jesse? Who is Jesse calling?
So it says that I have 2 different contacts that I can get a hold of, but I would probably call the ones at the university first.
Okay. So there is a select number of people at the university that sort of know the occult. You know, they're probably in adjacent sort of faculties, like maybe archaeology or anthropology, but they have a interest in the occult, and you know some of those people.
Yeah, so I would probably call, I have written down here Professor Hayes, so.
Okay. So you ring up Professor Hayes. You trust his judgment.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot more field work than you. So you get a hold of him.
Okay.
He's not aware of your mission, though. Whereas the mentor knows, the contact does not. The contact just isn't, it has your back for information purposes and things like that.
Okay. Yeah, so I would call about all the information that we found out about the attack that happened in Florida.
Okay.
I would ask, does that sound like anything that you've ever heard of? Like, I know there are some things that can look like other things, but I've never heard one that walks around like a person.
He tells you that he goes, I think you're looking for a corrupted soul. There's no outside influence. They've brought this on themselves. They've willed it into being. It doesn't happen very often.
What's involved with something like that?
There's been a trauma, more than likely, in the tooth. Can we call it the Tooth Fairy?
Sure. At this point, yeah.
From what you've told me, I would anticipate that it is replaying something from its life.
Okay.
It is reliving a trauma and inflicting it on other people.
And I'm watching the boys when this is going on. Like, while we're hearing this information, I'm watching them specifically because I have a feeling like
the only
it's
pattern,
tied to one of them.
The only pattern that I can find here, Jesse, that from what you're telling me, is that the age of 17 in that neighborhood, that's important to it. It needs to inflict harm on that.
In that age.
Is it?
And most likely boys. I don't understand the missing girl. That doesn't fit.
Is it possible? If we're on speakerphone, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it possible that one of the boys that was a victim before has become a corrupted soul?
That's where I went.
Did any of them survive?
I suppose. You don't know if any have survived. You don't know if any have died. A body has never been found. Only teeth.
Okay.
Jeez.
So, all right. And she'll look at Mike. The one that you came across, whatever became of that boy?
Well, he disappeared as far as I know, and his parents held me responsible. So whatever hit me was outside of this boy. Whatever became of that boy obviously was the result of whatever this thing that hit me did.
The voice on the other end of the phone, the professor that Jesse has called, says he recognizes who you are from the cases and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, Mr. Pellico, you are more than likely spared because you do not fit his
profile.
his storyline.
Too
He is
old or too
revisiting.
outside
He
the
is
boat.
revisiting these attacks on something because more than likely he suffered this same attack.
So in your history of looking up these boys before, did you come across anybody that sort of met that were like they suffered a trauma as a child?
Like abuse
Well,
or
that would be a
something?
GM question. Did I? I open up my journal.
Were any of the boys abused?
Well, like,
Or somebody who's connected to the case that was around the same age that was abused?
No, you can't think of any connection in that.
So he's doing to these boys something that or she was doing something to these boys that was done to them.
He says no. I think this is a boy. He is revisiting his trauma on other boys.
Right. So in Pittsburgh, was there any cases that matched what happened to this kid? Okay.
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
And your research didn't even focus on that. So you're like, you don't have anything to pull on from Pittsburgh at this point in that regard.
I have nothing.
I'm gonna pick up, or if they're still on the phone, that's fine. I'll wait for my turn for the phone.
No, what do you do? What do you do? Let's jump in here. What do you do?
Yeah.
I'd like hearing that. I'd like to make some calls to contact some law enforcement in Pittsburgh to see if there's any cases, older cases related to
Okay.
what we were just talking about.
Okay, so you do that as well. All right. Can you? So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna say the afternoon is spent there at the police station, making these phone calls, tracking people down. Ryan, give me a manipulation or charisma, plus, and then investigation. Manipulation or charisma plus your investigation.
Sure. I'm gonna use.
And there are 3 points in the pool.
I'll use all 3.
Okay.
Actually, I'll use 2 because I have 2 yellow dice. in front of
Yep,
me.
that's fine.
While he's doing that, can I maybe make a check for
Oh shit!
my research at all? Anything
Okay.
that would maybe have hinted at that?
Hinted at what?
At maybe something that maybe would have matched this.
In another piece of research?
Yeah, so because my academics is specifically research.
Yeah, so if you could get to a library, you could search through public record to see if there's any record of that sort of abuse here.
Got an
Y'all got a
interesting
library
plan.
here.
Okay, what'd you get there, Ryan?
I have 8 successes with
Whoa.
a 1 on a desperation die.
Okay. So so with 8 successes, unfortunately, you don't get anything back as far as a connection of abuse that was found during these old cases. And with such a high roll, you got very lucky. Like maybe you talked to someone that was around at the time of those cases, and they come clean with you, and they don't have any record of. They're not aware of anything that sort of matches what you're describing.
Okay.
However, with your 1, that will bump the danger pool by 1. So certain obstacles have just become more difficult. With all your calling around and that, maybe you've gone, maybe you've been noticed in town by the Tooth Fairy.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're maybe barking up the wrong tree on that.
Is there a library here that I could look through some records?
Yeah. You also know that there is a library. You can go look through public records. Do you want to do that?
Maybe we make a stop
That
there.
could take you the remainder of the evening, though. Because this is not computer databases.
Oh yeah. I
We're
remember the old.
talking-
I remember
we're
the
talking
old
like
film.
microfiche
Yep.
and like 1984.
I'm old enough to remember those.
Yep. So are you going to do that then? What's the feeling of the rest of the
I don't
group?
wanna
What is
split the
what is the
party.
speed of pace that we're going at here?
I think the Reverend wants to go to the bank.
I'll go with the Reverend to the bank.
Sure. If she's gonna go to the library, I'm gonna call the librarian,
Mhm.
and I'm going to use my influence to get her some help with working.
Okay,
in the
so
library.
I will add your influence points to Jesse's dice pool.
Sure, and I'll go with her, and I'll use my influence to see if I can.
Okay, so
Get the
we will need
process expedited.
an intelligence, and is it academics that you have the research in?
Yep.
So intelligence and academics plus 2
That's
for the
8.
sheriff's influence,
So 10
and then
altogether.
any dice that you want to add up to 3 from the pool.
Don't do it.
And while you roll that, the two of you go to the bank, and the sun. It's it's fall, so it's getting dark early.
Yeah.
It's just sort of twilight, and you walk in, and the bank's actually getting ready to close up. When the manager's there, and he smiles at you and says, "There's time to make a quick transaction if you'd like."
Actually, I just need some information. Perhaps I received a letter from your bank not too long ago at an organization in New York, and I'm like trying not to be super obvious so that like if he knows who to get.
So on his little name tag, it says Manager Joseph Alvarez. He takes your letter and starts looking at it. He says, "Well, this is our letterhead. But I couldn't tell you who wrote this, Reverend." And then can I have you and our private investigator
Yes.
roll a wits awareness?
Do I do it, Ryan? Do I roll them all?
Just roll 10. You don't need to roll 13.
I mean, I could, but
I'm gonna add desperation.
I think
dice.
10's
I'm gonna
probably
add all
good.
3.
I'll add desperation dice as well.
Okay, let's do it. We got lots of rolling all at once. Desperation dice everywhere.
Okay.
I rolled 1 on the desperation,
You rolled one desperation, so our danger is bumping.
and I got 3 successes.
3 successes.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. So
No ones.
as you talk to the manager and show him the letter, you notice a woman enter. She has a pair of track pants on, hoodie pulled up over her head. She's carrying a bucket in one hand with cleaning supplies in it. A pair of rubber gloves hanging over the side of it, maybe. She looks at the two of you with that letter, and just for a moment, both of you see not the eyes of a human. She has sort of a yellow, almost glowing eyes to her as she reads your auras and just tries to go unnoticed and makes a beeline for the back of the bank.
Do we see this though? Yeah.
Yes, with 3 successes, absolutely.
Like,
And
she's
we did roll danger, so we're up to 2 in the danger pool, and we've identified perhaps the woman. So I'm going to bump our pool to 4 now for our what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
Desperation.
Our desperation pool goes to 4.
Can I just say, well, thank you for your time, manager. It's nice to meet you. Have a nice day, and like go out, see if there's a door around the back that the lady maybe went out of.
No.
I asked to use a restroom.
Okay. He points you in the direction of the restroom, and you see the woman. She goes behind the tellers and puts her bucket down, and she looks like she's maybe the night cleaning lady.
Huh.
And she's looking like she's getting ready, get her stuff ready, but every so often the eyes look up and straight at you, Reverend.
I don't know. Okay.
Todd, your Mike walks across and into the bathroom.
Well, no.
Okay.
But I head to that direction. Now, when this person clocked us, did they recognize me? Did I get that?
No,
that
no, you
sense?
did not.
Okay.
No, you did not. But there
So
was
this
recognition in perhaps the letter.
Right. But they stayed. Like they stayed, and they're gonna do their job. I mean, they're to night clean, yeah. And the letter came from this building. We don't know who sent it. They clocked the letter, so maybe they sent it.
That's what you're thinking.
Maybe.
Yes. I'm gonna try and sneak around and approach
Okay.
the night lady.
Can you give me a I would like you to roll composure. And you can choose here either animal ken
Yeah.
or persuasion. Or persuasion.
Just a second.
And I want you to
They both suck.
you feel like you're about to approach like a cornered dog. And I do
Right.
like
So I'm gonna add desperation dice.
okay.
All 3.
Okay.
All right, so I got 1, 2, 3 successes and no danger dice.
Okay. So you approach.
Yeah.
She stands still and looks at you. And her eyes are predatory.
I put my
Almost
hand out
bestial.
and I go very quietly. We just want to help the kids.
Joseph, take a walk. And as her voice crosses the bank, it has real power to it. And he just stiffens up and walks out the door.
Almost like he was charmed.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem familiar to me?
Yeah. You think you're
Yeah.
dealing with a kindred.
Cool. I'm gonna walk toward her as well.
You're with the Long Night.
I am.
You can see that there's a tremble across her lip, in her hand.
Look,
And you know that if this goes wrong, you're going to have a fight on your hands.
clearly there's someone who's taking care of the deer. I don't know if that's related to these kids. That's what we're trying to figure out. Because there's something real unnatural going on with these kids as well. And real bad.
The deer are
We
my
just
doing.
want to help.
The deer are you.
Who's got the kids?
Did you see anything out by that cabin?
It's strong.
Okay.
Can you
enough,
help us?
Strong enough that I couldn't fight it off. Strong enough that when it hit me and she pulls that hoodie back a bit, you can see that there's still a mark there, and she should be able to heal regular wounds, which means this is like an aggravated damage. A supernatural creature has struck her.
What hit you?
It wears a hood.
So do you.
No, a full hood.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah, where did it go after Gus came back?
I've never been struck like this before, and I ran. But when I ran, I passed a van on the road. White with scratches in the side of it.
Was there a penis on the side?
She, like, her eyes go wide,
Is it the freaking flower lady? I swear to God.
and she's like,
It's Karen. Well, whatever.
she's like,
It's Anne.
there was. Artemis, what did Jessie roll on her research as she looks through the?
So I rolled 9 successes. 2 of them were 10s.
9 successes.
Yes,
With a
9
crit.
out of 10.
You come across an old newspaper clipping.
Oh, I'm like sweating, you guys.
A
Come on, we gotta kill this thing.
This is like 1968, 1969.
Okay.
Nice.
a resident
Shut
of the town, a resident of the town, Bert Warwick.
Bert Warwick?
Yes,
Okay.
was charged with domestic abuse to his son Kevin.
Okay.
It's implied in the paper dances around it, but it implies of horrible atrocities inflicted upon the boy.
Anything to do with mouth-related trauma?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
As
What
she's
time of the
doing-
year did this happen? I'm sorry. I'm not with them. Never mind.
She's
Yeah,
doing her
this
research.
is like from a summer clipping of a newspaper.
Okay.
It says that Kevin was the youngest of 3 children. He has an older brother named David, and then the middle child, Anne, his sister.
Oh.
She's protecting her
that-
brother. She's protecting her brother.
Seeing that, I'm gonna tell Sheriff. I'm gonna tell Ed. Hey, you might want to look at this.
I look
We got a
up,
problem.
I look up and I'm paying like not
It,
too much
uh,
interest in her doing her research because it's not really my jam.
Yeah.
I'm flipping through. I'm in the new release section. I'm flipping through a copy of "You Can Heal Your Life" by Anne May.
Okay.
Huh?
You also have also mentioned in the article is that police, and it names the sheriff, and it's actually the sheriff who our current sheriff took over from.
Yeah, Bud. Yeah.
Went to take Mr. Warwick into custody and was not found.
Jesus.
Hey.
So I look at the kindred.
Ed, you're gonna want to look at this.
Back at the bank.
Yep. Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Back at the bank.
I say, I too, and I show her my wounds, have met this creature up close and personal.
She reaches out her hand as you do that
Mhm.
to touch your face. Do you allow that?
Of course.
And she runs her finger along where your lip had been broken open,
Mm-hmm.
and then traces that same mark, and you see it on her face.
Mm-hmm. So
It has a buckle on its fist. A belt buckle.
where's it on its hands? So it was beaten. It beats with a belt, in the same way that it was probably beaten with a belt. How do we stop it?
I don't know.
I mean, we gotta try to find it. To try, we gotta
Well-
try to save these kids.
So in my time in the sheriff's office,
Yes.
I overheard all of the stuff about the van.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna call the sheriff's office and tell. The sheriff is at the library, right?
Yeah, but you can call Kathy. Could get him on the radio, right?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So I do that. I let him know that I think it's Anne. I think we got to go, or I think Anne's protecting it. We got to go to, and Anne's a florist.
Yep. And
totally.
and
And
how, Sheriff, you know that the Warwick's house is just outside of town. Anne has a small greenhouse off the side of the house, and she also has a small barn.
Hmm.
Where should we? So I'm talking to Kathy, who's talking to Ed. Ed's
Yeah,
talking
and
to
she's like- she's
Ed's
like,
talking to me.
The goddamn 80s.
Yep, it is.
Tell Ed to meet us at the.
And
You
okay.
guys arrange a meeting place. The group meets up. And
Yeah.
are we going out to Anne's house?
Yes.
Are we?
Yeah,
also
like, I
in
would
the police
confirm
vehicle, or
all
are we
that.
going in-
I think we're bringing as many people as we freaking can. We got to surround this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call Father,
Call in
who's
the
the guy here, and see if he can
Flanagan.
help us just with some.
Call him the father.
Just,
Yeah.
just, I know he's not like part of the organization, but just get him in on it. Be like,
Call
say
your-
some prayers.
Mom, down, father, bring your cross.
Call all your
Do you-
deputies
Did you call the
in, and
Reverend?
Might as well.
I call in
Bring
whatever
everybody.
whatever hunters I
At
know.
this
I'm
point,
going to
just
say
call
that
everybody.
Reverend Flanagan is not available to take the call.
Okay, dang it. Bring everybody.
You go through some hunters, and they're like, "We can't be there. We can't be there in time."
Okay, then my blood's on your hand. Bye.
Let's just go.
I'll get on the
We gotta
horn
stop
and
it.
try to get any deputies I have down there.
Okay.
Leave the auxiliary
So
people at
you pull up in front of the house, and your deputies arrive at approximately the same time. Your old deputy and your young deputy. Give us their names again.
the.
Fred
Fred?
and
The younger one is Fred Williams, and the older one is Douglas Went.
Okay. When you arrive, you are out at the road, and it's set back a little bit. It's like an old farmhouse, right? And you can see a sign that says like Anne's Flowers, and there is this little white house, and right beside it there is a long greenhouse, and then there is a barn sort of behind the greenhouse and house, and you can see just with the last bit of light, you can see that there is a chimney on the barn. It's not blowing out smoke though. You can see, like, you know when heat comes out, you can see like waves, like a really hot barbecue. You
yeah,
can
like
see
a
that.
heat haze.
All right, hold on here, folks. I go and I went back to the station. I
Okay.
pop the trunk.
Yeah.
I pull out rifles, shotguns, pistols, everything.
Okay.
It's an arming montage.
So
Yeah.
everyone can have either a
Like
shotgun
Commando.
or a
You seen
revolver
Commando?
or both.
I think just a small.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same
Technically,
thing for
Ryan
Jesse.
has
She's
an-
got like
A
we're running short
Derringer.
on-
Spaghetti.
We're running short on time, but Ryan has an edge that allows him to outfit the unit.
Yeah.
So we're going to say that you make
It's
a successful roll on that,
It's like,
and everyone can
like,
have either a shotgun or a pistol, whatever your choice, or both.
I got a shotgun.
it's like that scene in Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's shopping.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that movie, but
Yeah.
Maj needs a beat up revolver.
sure.
Yeah.
You take whatever you like. It's all here.
As you guys pull all the weapons out of the trunk, you see that there's a light in the house, and it turns off.
Sorry, turns on.
Off.
It's off.
Off.
I think Marge just starts going straight to the barn. Screw the house. Don't need to deal with anyone.
I'm going to the
here.
barn too.
Go to the barn.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll actually start running at this point.
Okay. So you move down the edge of the property. What are the two deputies doing? Are they coming with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So the four of you plus the two deputies, you guys run down the perimeter of the property and you make it to the barn. There is definitely, you can hear sort of some sort of, like maybe fast rushing gas or something, but there's something going on in that barn, and the chimney has those heat waves just coming out of it.
Do I catch a smell of anything?
Nope.
I kicked the door open.
Okay. So you move into the barn. The barn would have maybe once held a few horses. There's a few paddocks. And at the back of the barn, there is a large green farm incinerator. The lid on it is down, and it is running full tilt. And you are hearing the gas from, you can see all kinds of very large propane tanks. And it's running gas, and it is running hot.
What is the smell in here?
There is no smell.
No smell.
You can smell like heat. Like, do you know what I'm talking about when you like?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
But
not
it's
like a
not-
burning
it's-
body
it's-
smell.
No. As the son of a funeral director, I can tell you that if the crematorium is running hot enough, you will not smell anything.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Thank
run.
you.
Well, I'm with them,
Yeah.
and so we're now sort of taking formation. What do we see? We see the incinerator. Is there any person in there? What do we see?
You move over, and there's a very small window.
Uh-huh.
And you sort of look through, and there is a body in there, like a blackened charred, and the retorts are just hitting it with flame.
Okay.
But it has no head.
Okay.
Ooh.
So it's part of the ritual. They're trying to do something. And
Does
we
it
saw the
look
light go off in
abnormal?
the house, so something is in the house.
Yeah. There are also a couple of buckets and shovels and brooms around the incinerator, and
What's in the buckets?
leftover ash.
Uh,
Is there any teeth
What's
in
in the
there?
buckets?
There are no teeth.
I'm gonna go to turn the incinerator on.
Okay, you shut the gas off on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that hissing sound just melts away, and the red light coming from that little viewport just, gone. I will tell you, if you open that right now, that is going to be hot. You could risk an injury.
I think I'd be smart enough probably not to open it.
Can we see through that little gap how tall the body would have been?
No, well, it fits in here. This thing could take a cow's body, so it looks very small inside. Like it's a farm.
Okay.
It's an industrial farm incinerator.
Can we tell if it's male or female at this point?
No.
Is there any thing under the floor, like any kind of storage where they would put hay bales or anything like that?
Yeah, the barn is not functional anymore. Like there are no hay bales here. It's been swept out a long time ago. It's not clean, but it's also not disorganized. There's literally hardly anything in here, with the exception of the incinerator and the buckets and brooms and things like that.
But no cellar or anything.
No.
Okay.
I would say that at this point, I'm probably pretty desperate to know if this is my daughter or not. I'm gonna tell everybody to back up, and I'm gonna open it.
Okay. Can I have you make a dexterity athletics check, please?
Yep.
To avoid getting burned.
There's no way I wouldn't open it. 5. I'm gonna use all the desperation dice.
Okay. I think that fits
we
your
have 4?
ambition.
We have 4 now.
Yeah, we have 4 in the desperation pool.
Let me just roll those for me.
4 in the desperation pool, 2 in the danger pool.
Okay, no ones there.
Okay, that's good. You need 6s, my man.
So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes and a crit.
Nice.
4 regular successes and then the crit, or one of the 4 is a crit?
So a 9, a 6, 2 10s.
Okay, 2 10s. Okay, all right.
Yeah. A 9, a 6, and 2 10s.
You throw the lid open and then get the hell out of the way, and you guys just see a massive wall of heat pour out, and even some ash flies up out of it and everything.
Is there a way to pull the? Is it on a slide kind of thing?
Yeah, you would slide the body out the end.
Is there any thing I can? Is there a glove or anything? I just want to make sure I don't.
Yeah, I'll say there's a glove, sure, because
it would be. Yeah, so I'm just gonna slide it out and see if I can tell.
Yeah, you burn yourself. You burn yourself, not enough to hurt yourself, so we're not gonna take off any health levels. But you get a bit of a burn even through the glove. Go ahead.
No, I look at the Reverend and I say it looks like Anne is trying to cover up the evidence of her brother's handiwork. So my guess is we got to get in that house.
Yeah.
You pull out the remains, and the bones are all there on the drawer that goes into the.
Is there? I'm gonna say that. Is there any jewelry or anything on it? Would that be gone if there was any jewelry?
No, it would leave a puddle of whatever the metal was, right?
But it has no head.
Yeah, but it has no head, and there is no signs of jewelry, and any sort of clothing and flesh has been burnt away. This is just the charred bones of a teenage kid.
Could I do a medicine check of some kind?
Yes, to see, because there is a way to tell from pelvic bones as to whether and rib number. Okay, go ahead and give me what is your intelligence medicine? Maybe we don't even have to roll this. You don't even have to roll.
6 total.
It's a boy.
Okay. I tell him that this isn't your daughter.
Let's go back toward the house.
You drop to a knee?
Put a hand on his shoulder.
Let's go back toward the house. Maybe we can save someone.
Yeah, we gotta go.
You said we can burn willpower for things?
You can burn willpower to re-roll, or
to re-roll.
You can only use your sense unnatural once a scene, but you can burn a willpower to use it more than once in a scene.
Okay.
As we get closer to the house, can I use my sense unnatural?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
What is that? That's
6 starting.
Yeah, wisdom occult.
And then what kind of desperation dice we got going on right now? 4 total?
There's 4 in the pool.
Okay.
What's disguised delivery?
You're able to make explosives that don't look like explosives.
Freaking.
Okay, so I got 5 regular successes and then 2 10s.
Okay. You sense the same thing you sense the blood from the pillowcase.
And she does not look good. She is like bleeding from everywhere now.
In the house.
Yeah.
In the house.
You sense more than that though. There's a second entity inside the house.
Same kind?
No.
Okay, we got 2 things in here that we're dealing with. Do I get any kind of sense of what the other thing is?
You think an unrested spirit.
Okay, I would explain all that as I'm like bleeding from literally everywhere.
I don't know what any of that, but if my daughter's in that house, we're going. And I just start running towards the house.
Okay. So as you approach the back of the house, you move down the side of the
I guess I would try to be somewhat cautious, like as I'm approaching, but like, I'm not just like fucking.
You move down the side of the greenhouse, and there's a little back porch with a back screen door, but there's also a set of doors that lead into the cellar, and they're chained.
Can I sense direction with my like blood?
It's in the house. It's in the house.
It's in the house. Okay, so I tell him house, not
I
basement.
look over to Mike and I go, upstairs or downstairs?
We got to get it. If there's kids, I think they're in the cellar. If it's chained, it's so they can't get out. What I know from these old houses, if this is the only entrance, or is there an internal entrance to the cellar from the house?
There's probably an internal entrance as well.
Okay.
This is the original entrance to the cellar, but probably at some point this house has been renovated, and there's a set of steps as well.
I'm gonna say, you go save your daughter. You go down. I'll go up. I'll go up to where I saw the light go off.
I take a flashlight and I look down at the chain thing to see if I can see anything through. Is there like a little crack?
No.
In the cellar, nothing. I say, I put my face down towards the cellar door and I say, disperse! And I pull the shotgun and I blast the cellar door.
You blast the chain and the cellar door and everything?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's very effective. Now, you're breaching the cellar steps, and Mike, you're going in through the back door.
I might wait a second till they get up to the other door.
So Mike's leading in through the back door. Where is Reverend and Jesse going?
I'm going in the house.
Yeah, Jesse's going in.
Mike?
I'm going in with Mike too, because I got something that might help.
Are the deputies coming with you, Sheriff?
Yeah.
Probably safer.
I'll send the old one with them.
Okay. So sorry, the old one goes with them. You take the kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Fred and Doug's going in.
So
in
this
house.
Is happening simultaneously. So you breach the basement, and there's a set of. I'm going to do that first. There's a set of cellar steps going down. So it looks like a hard-packed dirt floor.
Yep.
So you are you going to use a flashlight?
Yeah, I'll pull my flashlight.
And what weapon do you have in hand?
If I'm gonna pull the flashlight out, I'm gonna have to put the shotgun over my shoulder. So I'll pull my revolver.
Yeah, your deputy has shotgun in hand, and the two of you descend into the basement.
Right.
What you're greeted by is a number of supports holding up the house. It is a stone foundation. There are numerous cobwebs and things like that in the corners. In the center of the room is Dustin. He has his hands above his head, and they are thrown over a hook on one of those basement supports. The strap goes over the hook and then binds his two hands up like this. His head sags and he's on his knees. And you can see blood and teeth all over the basement. There is also flies, because the blood just becomes a natural feeding and breeding ground for them. And it's not cold enough yet to get rid of them. From where you're looking at your light, you can't actually make out his poor Dustin's chin, because like a flap of skin is just kind of hanging.
I do a quick sweep of the room with the flashlight to see if I see.
You see a set of stairs going up, and beneath the steps, you see a cairn of skulls. No teeth in them.
How many?
I'm
I'm not there.
After I scan the room, I holster my pistol and I say, "Fred, cover me." And I start to move up towards Dustin, and I look back over my shoulder, and Fred, who I just asked to cover me,
as you do that, Fred retches.
That's what I was gonna say. I turn around, he's puking.
Yeah. The smell of the rotten blood down here is atrocious.
I'll slowly move up to Dustin, and I'm just gonna confirm that what I already know, that he's dead.
He's not.
What
He's
I think.
breathing.
Not dead. He's breathing.
He's breathing. You can see every so often, like his mouth is just like it's not even recognizable as a mouth. But every so often, a little bit of blood catches him breathing and blows almost like a little bubble. You can see bone.
I pull out my knife off my hip, and I go to slice the belt.
Okay, and we're going to jump upstairs. So upstairs, you breach into the back door, and you come into a kitchen. A kitchen that is functioning in two ways. It's functioning as a kitchen, but it also appears to be functioning as a floral studio. There are a number of vases and cut flowers on the counters. And the whole thing is a little surreal as you come in. There is an obvious odor of rot and decay.
Is there a stove?
There is.
Okay. I'm going to go over to the stove, and I'm going to turn the gas on without the pilot light lighting.
Okay. You hear it start to whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Beyond the kitchen, there's one of those, like, the old school open the shutters, and the dining room would be on the other side. When you do that, when you look through that, because it's not closed, you can see a dining room in the dark, just a little bit of light coming in through the windows from the moon and everything. But there's definitely a dining room there, and there is a large, almost like, it looks like some sort of family portrait at one end. And as you guys sort of take that in, there's a creak from the second floor, like something just moved up there.
How long does my sense last?
It's still going. You can
Okay.
but this is what I'll tell you. When you come into this house, it is like a blanket of assault on your sense unnatural. You rolled so high.
Yeah.
You're so finely tuned in. Hands, eyes bleeding from your stigmata in full effect. And you just can't pinpoint in here. It is just like a fog of unnatural power.
Okay. Just be careful, because I can't see, so...
You hear someone in the basement throw up.
I think Reverend Marge is just going to be like, Anne? I'm just calling out, Anne, we know this is a complicated situation. We just need to find out what's going on. We want to help. I'm here to help, if I can. Try to save y'all some grief, and I'll start to go toward the stairs.
Yeah. So you're moving down the hallway from the kitchen. The dining room passes you. You're coming up on the living room, and you pass the stairs down to the cellar. The front stairs dump out right at the front door, so you've got a long walk down this narrow hallway. And as the Reverend is almost to the front of the living room, there is a blood-curdling scream as you hear a girl scream out the word "Daddy." And I'm going to save your ears on the mic. but it rocks you to your core.
We all hear it.
Yes, even Ryan.
Upstairs?
Ryan, it is undeniably your daughter, and it just right through the house. Like it just hits you in the heart so hard to hear her cry like that. Yeah, that's what you hear.
Is she upstairs?
It sounds
The
like
sound
she's
came from
upstairs.
I'm running now.
Okay, then can I have you make a wits awareness check for me, Emily, for the good Reverend?
So I'm gonna add all the desperation dice.
Yeah.
Okay. We got 3 successes. No ones. 3 successes.
Okay.
I might spend a willpower. How many can I spend, to reroll?
You can spend 1 willpower to reroll up to 3 dice, but none can be your desperation dice. They can only be your regular pool.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Desperation ones. I'll just reroll 1 then, because that's all I got. That's a 5. Okay.
It's a 5? Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay.
So,
So
not that much better.
no. So you only catch the movement a moment too late. Jesse and Mike, there is a flash of movement from the living room, and as the Reverend reaches the bottom of the steps, it's like a freight train runs her over. A massive bulk of man comes blitzing out of the living room and just leads with a haymaker of a punch that immediately sends a shockwave through Mike, as this must have been what it looked like step from aside. So how many
From the outside.
How many successes was that in total?
Just 3.
3. So the creature, the thing, got 5 successes. I am going to reduce a success for every success you got. So that brings it
I have
down
a
to 2.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
So I have my perk is that I can thwart the unnatural.
Yes.
Can I do this to save the Reverend's ass?
That
Well,
is only
okay.
against yourself.
I was
Okay.
going to also.
Or
well,
if you could visually see, like, if you knew that a vampire was using mind control on someone, you could do
Okay.
that to thwart it. But there's
Okay.
there's no supernatural power being used here except for the strength of the creature.
oh, okay. So if I
Okay.
have something called repel the unnatural.
That you can take a moment to do that, but not in this instance.
Okay.
You can though. Your relic shields you. So if you'd like, we can use your relic shield. That'll give you basically a point of armor.
Yes, please.
Okay, so 5 total successes. However, we're 2 on the danger, so this is 7. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
You made 3 successes, which brings that down to 4,
4.
and you have armor 3.
So it's 3.
So you are taking 3 aggravated damage.
Whew.
And I believe the Reverend only has 3 health.
Boom.
So she goes right through the staircase. And her body just kind of lands limp on the steps.
Yeah.
I see this, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Well, I was going to say, what is everyone's reaction?
So, I see this thing, it's happening in front of me, and then I try to draw its attention and remind it of who I am and the fact that I'm back. And then I book around the corner trying to taunt it into the kitchen.
Okay, give me a, I think, charisma and intimidation.
Can I use my unseemly aura to help him? Since I'm close by?
Your unseemly aura? Your
Yeah.
unseemly aura will allow you to interact with the creature as if you were not immortal.
Okay. Okay, so if that's the case, and I'm still bleeding from everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
I would look at it as it starts to chase him and say, "Stop."
Okay. Okay. Let's first of all roll for the check.
It starts to chase me, and you're telling it to stop from chasing me?
Well. Yeah, because I would have tried to. If I would have known that, I would have tried to use it to stop it from attacking the Reverend, but I didn't know that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to lure it into the kitchen.
Okay. So let's just go with that and see what happens. So go ahead and make your charisma or manipulation, whichever is higher.
Okay.
And then your intimidation.
I don't have anything for intimidation.
So there's just no pool there. That's all.
So there's no pool, and then is there any desperation dice?
There's 4 desperation dice available.
I'm gonna roll them.
No whammies.
All right, so I got, holy crap, 1, 2, 3 9s and a 0.
Okay, that's good.
So I got 4 successes and no
successes.
1s.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I will get to that in 1 second. Sheriff, what are you and the deputy?
So I just cut this boy free.
Yep. When you hear,
I hear the scream.
you hear the scream, and whatever your reaction is to that, a moment later you hear like a freight train hit something.
Okay. I yell, Fred, get the boy outside, and I dash up the stairs.
Okay. Okay.
And I pull the shotgun out as I.
Okay, so you're coming up the stairs. Yep. All right. So, the creature does indeed begin to, like, it just turns its attention down the hallway. It sees Mike, and it starts coming down the hallway at Mike. And you even hear it, like, it must hit the wall in anger or something on the way down. Because, like you hear it break drywall. And it reaches, I'm going to say the deputy and Jesse and yourself are now in the kitchen.
No, I was going to stay with the Reverend. If that thing is chasing him, I was going to try to...
the Reverend is down the hall. It's coming from that direction.
Oh, it's coming at us now? Okay.
I was gonna have the.
So you could jump into the dining room, or you could jump out the back door, or you could jump in the kitchen.
Well,
and you
wherever
saw what I
he's
did in the
going-
kitchen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like jump into the dining room to get out of the way as this thing runs by, and then
Okay.
go to the Reverend.
And I'm gonna say that with your, like we talked about, your unnatural presence,
Yeah.
it pays you no regard.
Okay.
Like you duck into there, and it just keeps coming down. The cop, I'm gonna say is it backs right out the back door. He's the old guy, right? Yeah. He stumbles on the step, and a shot from the shotgun goes off. Just as this creature turns the doorway into the kitchen, you see the shotgun round hit it, and it's clothes. It's wearing sort of these torn overalls and this really filthy, blood-stained shirt, and it has a like a pillowcase over its head with holes, but it clearly has blood where its mouth is.
Oh, what was that?
The shotgun goes off, and it just shreds the pillowcase. It doesn't seem to have any effect on him. And you see sort of a distorted view of the Tooth Fairy's face. There is no mouth. There is just kind of this strange opening that's left. Skin dangles, and it hasn't healed. Like, it still drips.
Oof.
And its eyes are black. And it turns the corner and looks at you, and it doesn't even, like, register that it just got hit with a shotgun round. Sheriff, you arrive at the top of the stairs at this point, and what is Mike going to do?
Well, I was screaming to lure it into the kitchen.
Yeah, it's made a step into the kitchen.
So it says so I am standing now in the kitchen, and I'm seeing this thing.
Yeah, its right hand, there is a belt wrapped many times around its, and it's this massive buckle on its
So
front of its
I
necklace.
have an incredible sense of calm because this is now full circle. I am now facing the thing that has been the bane of my existence for a decade. So I reach into my coat and I take out the flask. And I take a hit off the flask. And I put the flask back. And then I reach into my pocket and I pull out my Zippo.
Oh no.
And I go 1, 2, 3, and it lights, and I spit the bourbon into the flame, into the gas that I've been filling the kitchen up with, where it's standing.
Okay. So, like the hand is just reaching out for you. It's going to grab you. When the flames like run right down its arm, and from this open wound of a face, you hear like sort of almost like a gurgled roar of pain. Sheriff, you just opened the door and there is fucking light everywhere as the walls and glass shatter and explode, and you are blown right back down the stairs. I would like both Jesse and Mike to give me a stamina check.
Just a stamina?
Stamina athletics. I will give you stamina athletics.
I got no athletics, so I'm taking desperation dice.
As soon as I open the door, basically I get fireballed back down into the
and you literally
You have
fall
no
down the
eyebrows.
stairs.
2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
4 successes?
I had
No
5.
whammies.
I had 5 when one of them was a 10.
So both of you take 10 damage from the explosion, reduced by the number of successes you just rolled.
So I got half damage. Well, no, it's 6
And
damage.
because it's fire, it's considered aggravated. So you're putting X's in, not slashes.
Oh no.
Do we have health left?
No, I'm blown
Okay.
back.
Okay.
I got one left.
So
I got one left.
Jesse, you feel like part of the dining room roof must come down on you.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Sheriff, you are blown back, and can I have you make the same check, athletics, stamina? But I'm not going to say that these are aggravated on you because you were just opening the door. But this will be bludgeoning damage.
Athletic stamina is my jam. And I'm gonna I'll just add 2 desperation dice. No 1, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
8 successes. So that's only 2 damage. Non-aggravated is always halved, so you're taking 1 tick on your health box, and it's only a slash as you're sort of knocked down the steps. Okay? You come to rest at the bottom of the steps, and you see those skulls underneath the steps, and you immediately know that the entire house above you is on fire. Artemis, can you have Jessie... What's Jessie doing? She has an enormous amount of weight on her. Oh, the wind's just been knocked out of her, and you could smell smoke. You can also smell burnt flesh.
She is trying desperately to get out from underneath whatever's on top of her and get to the stairs.
Okay. I want you to make a strength athletics check to get out from underneath this rubble.
Okay.
Thanks, Flush.
Okay. Big girl, go home, guys. Okay. Okay, so I got two 10s, and then
So that's a crit. So that's 4 successes.
and then three other successes.
Okay. You drag yourself out from underneath the debris. There are flames everywhere. And you then realize there's a piece of metal through your shoulder. You think it's part
That's fine.
You think it's part of the dining room chandelier. It is right through your shoulder and out the back.
Just picturing a brass rod. Just
Yeah.
one of those tacky brass chandeliers.
You stumble towards the front of the house, There are flames everywhere. The front door is blown off. There's just an opening.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you see a broken body.
Yeah.
On the steps. The Reverend's neck should not bend the way it's bent.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm gonna go.
And above her in the wallpaper, her forefront teeth. Bink, 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 bink. Right in the wall.
Yep. I am running up the stairs to see if I can find the girl.
Okay.
Yes.
So you stumble up the stairs.
Yep.
Ryan.
At this point, go big or go home.
your young sheriff comes running into the basement. Sheriff, you down here? The whole house fucking exploded.
I get up to one knee and I'm sure I got my bell rung pretty good.
Oh yeah, your ears are ringing.
And I like that, and I just all I can hear is that scream echoing in my head. And I look down, I'm kind of blurry. I pick up my hat off the ground.
Yep.
Priorities.
I put my hat on. I drop the shotgun, and I just full tilt as fast and as hard as I can straight upstairs. Through
Okay.
the fire.
As you start to run upstairs, your deputy grabs you. He's like, "You can't go up there. The whole house is on fire."
I give him.
Yeah, I
give him a
take him
shot.
right in the bridge of the nose. You feel his nose break. Like no one's keeping you back from your daughter. And he's like, he just falls back. Oh, my nose!
Get over it, Fred.
You run up and you burst through the steps and make your way to the stairs upstairs.
Yeah, straight upstairs.
Okay, Jesse, you get to the landing on the top of the steps.
Through the fire and the flames. Going.
You can see that there's four doors, a bathroom and 3 bedrooms. One is closed though. The others are not.
Okay, I run to that one.
Yep. You open it. The room is on fire. There is smoke everywhere. Anne holds a teenage girl.
Yeah.
A knife to her throat. Anne has blood coming down the side of her head, and her hair must have caught fire because it is in a bad way.
Oh yeah. I don't look very good either.
The kid looks in rough shape too.
Yeah.
And she's like,
And
"Don't you fucking move!"
and I'm just like bleeding all over the place. And let her go. Let her go.
She has it good. She has it too good. Do you know what he did to us?
Yes, actually. I looked it up.
Give me a composure persuasion on that.
Okay. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Two crits and 2 successes.
Okay. She starts to cry. She goes, No, you're not supposed to know, are you? You're not supposed to know. And she's not really that strong. You can tell that she's gonna hurt this girl. She can't hold the girl and the knife. The girl's not fighting. But Ryan, you come to the top of the stairs. You can see Jesse in the room. Anne has your daughter. And you have a side shot on her, but it's going to be difficult.
I can't take the shot.
Take the shot.
What's in the box?
Has she noticed me?
No.
Take the shot.
Do it.
It's
Come on,
almost
Ryan.
better-
It's a one shot.
It's almost better if I
Oh,
miss,
man.
though, isn't it?
Okay.
Take
All right.
the
Well, it
shot.
depends on which direction you miss
I'll
it.
take the shot.
Okay, we're getting dexterity and firearms here, and you're going to get plus 2 extra dice because she does not know you're there.
Woo!
Okay, sorry. Dexterity and firearms.
Dexterity and firearms.
So 3 and 3 is 6.
Yeah, I'm going to give you another
Plus 2.
plus 2. That's
Plus
8.
2 is 8.
And
And
you have a
I'll
4. You know what? Seeing your daughter this way, I'm bumping the pool to 5. You can roll 5 extra dice if you want.
so
Come on, Ryan.
That's
Come on, man.
3,
Be the
Roll
dad we all
all
know you
the
can be.
dice. Roll all the dice.
Hold on. So I'm
Roll
just trying to
all-
get. So a regular
Chad is
roll-
also saying, take it, take it.
All right. So I have 6 normally, plus 2 because she didn't see me is 8,
Yep.
and then 5.
Up to 5 from the pool.
So 13.
I'm gonna roll the 5 desperation dice first.
Yes, you are!
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
One good shot. Okay, no ones.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So
Okay.
2 successes.
2 successes.
I'll tally.
So fucking stressed out we all are.
Viking just goes shoot the bitch.
Okay, now I'm rolling 8 more.
Oh shit!
8 more.
Okay.
Jared, we gotta fix your bot, man.
That's not
1,
me, is
2,
it?
3, 4,
Yeah, it is.
5,
It's your
6,
bot.
7 successes.
I don't have Streamlabs.
Jesus!
7?
So
7
I have
in
a total
total?
of 9 successes.
Nine.
Successes? Okay, and the gun itself, so how this works in Hunter, you would get, for scoring a hit, you would do 1 damage plus the damage of the weapon. The pistol is 2, so that would take that to 3 damage, but then we add another damage for every success past the first one.
Jesus.
So another
So
6
8
successes.
or 6.
Yeah. So, dude,
Like,
one
gun right in the
shot. The
neck.
gun goes off, and the back of her head comes off,
You!
and she just like the knife drops.
I run forward and grab the
Jesse,
girl.
you see
Yep.
her eyes roll back, and she just falls, and the girl is just like shaking, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I run forward and grab the girl
yeah.
and start trying to get out of the house.
At which point the scene fades, and as we come up, there's ambulances, there's police. The house is burning. Ryan and his daughter, Sheriff Rose and his daughter, are sitting in the back of an ambulance. They're checking her out, but he won't let her go. Our poor Dustin is just been loaded into an ambulance with the doors closing up, and it's leaving. The fire chief comes. You know, Jesse's standing there with the sheriff. The fire chief comes and goes, Sheriff, I got your reverend's body. I got Anne's body from upstairs. That's all I got.
You didn't find Mike?
Oh, the deputies got out.
No, Mike.
Oh, no, and Mike's body. Sorry. Yes, of course.
Okay.
But this this big
It was
man.
Mike all along.
This big man. No body. Are you sure he was in there?
God damn it.
I don't think I saw it. No. No. I didn't see anything.
You came up-
Jesse is like frantic when you
Which
say
totally
that.
tracks.
We found a large number of remains scattered in the greenhouse. And we got a pile of skulls in the basement. Close to 20. And at that, the credits start to roll. You know, the music comes up, and we end our story of the Tooth Fairy in Ridgeway, Pennsylvania.
Jeez.
What's the post-credit scene?
The post-credit scene is maybe an alleyway in Pittsburgh, raining, and a dark shadow with a pillowcase over its
No.
head, standing.
And a little cat looks at it.
Oh,
Oh.
oh no.
That ends. That was
That'd be
great.
Today of all days.
That was
Oh.
great.
Gosh.
I did not save 7 souls.
So listen, that wraps up our playthrough of Hunter the Reckoning. This has been the Tooth Fairy. I can't take full credit for writing this scenario. The Gentleman's Guide to Gaming, right over on YouTube. That creator gave me the original idea for the story, and then I just fleshed it out for our purposes. and I think it turned out okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
If you have not,
Yeah, you did amazing, Jer.
if you have not donated yet, go, and you have the ability to do so, of course. Go over to Extra Life, throw a couple bucks their way. If you have the opportunity, check out our guests here, our players, over on their Instagram and their other channels. I see some
Yeah, I'm starting
like
to
I
post
saw
them in there.
Nerd Circus link go up there. You know, Canadian Dice, Corvée Miniatures.
I don't know why your link is not working, Emily.
It's Corvée, I think, not Emily.
Is it
No.
Corvée?
Or
No, she's got you under Emily on here, so I don't
no,
know.
it came up as Corvée when I
Oh,
typed it in.
well, what the? She put it
Anyways,
on the screen, Mom.
and to my players, just stick around for a sec. We can say goodbye once we're offline here. Thank you again, everybody. It's really late. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I had a blast, and check out our next one-shot. Comes up next week, Artemis, or when? Do you know when it is?
Okay, so tomorrow, Affy and I are being interviewed by Tabletop Misfits over on their channel.
Okay.
We don't have anything on Thursday. Friday is Fixious 5. Saturday is Becky's One Shot while you were sleeping.
Okay.
And then Canadian Thanksgiving happens. We don't have anything until Tuesday. So,
Well,
And
there
that's
you go.
me.
Check out the one-shot on Saturday. Do any of you have anything you'd like to say before we go? I'll give you an opportunity here.
Thank you all for inviting me. This was a wonderful Halloween adventure. That was a really cool thing to be a part of, and I appreciate the invite. If anybody wants to follow me, I'm at T Stashwick on the Insta, and then and if you want to watch anything that I'm on, go to Hulu and watch 12 Monkeys. Go
check out 12 Monkeys.
That's a fun one.
I knew nothing about this show until someone pointed me in its direction about a year ago, and I really enjoyed it.
It's a good time, and if you're a hard sci-fi fan and time travel, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Until next time.
hi.
I'm going to try to take us out of here. This is not my forte.